Well, welcome back to Base Camp, WNC. As the title says, we're working on top of this well, and I want to question some of the people I know that, does this constitute a Faraday cage over top of the well and to protect it? Well, right now you look at it and you say it's nothing but a fiberglass rock up here in the mountains. That ain't going to do much. And as usual, on this solar well project, we had a pile of this to take out from around underneath the rock, and full of mouses and mouse poo and ants and bugs. And let me show you what's underneath this fiberglass rock. Well, here's what's under that rock. This is a 55-gallon drum. I've got the bottom down here cut off, and it's sitting over top. Let me see if I can take his lid off without making you too sick. And here's the two pumps that are down in my previous video right here. I've got another video out maybe after this one, and this is a grid power pump coming out and a solar power pump coming out. So let me show you how we got to this point. So of course, after seeing the picture and seeing the problem with it, we took a 55-gallon drum. I like to use plastic ones, but there's none available right now, so we got this metal one here. We cut the bottom off. We made it about 33 inches high. Dug a ditch all the way around it, and to the top of the valves here and this gauge, we're going to have it just below the lid. We're going to put some rocks here on the bottom to bring it up just enough to make sure we don't hit that wire. Get it up off that wire a couple inches. Let me go ahead and set this thing in here and kind of show you what it's going to look like. Well, after I set it in here, I got the rocks on here to set it on. I didn't like the fact it was too close to that wire, so I did cut about a 4x4 hole in the bottom of the drum and cut a piece of hose over top of it. That way this metal drum will be 3-4 inches away from that wire. Let me show you what it looks like when we set it down in there. Well, the sun and the shade still not cooperating, but the wire comes out right here, and this is where the 3x4 hole is. And you can see the daylight, but that's where the wire goes out of. It's sitting on the rock, so anything ever hits it and pushes down, it won't cut into that wire. Lid goes on it, and of course we can clamp it down. We're going to backfill this thing. But like I said, what we're going to get is a whole bunch of stuff like onion bags and fill it full of plastic peanuts and just put little bags all in here. We're going to level the dirt off where it was originally in there and fill that insulation up to the top right here, put the lid on it. And this way the bottom of the drum is about 6-8 inches below the dirt level. We got to bring this dirt up a couple inches anyhow for the rock to sit right. So that might be close to a foot them mice got to dig down through to get to it. But I know a lot of people do it, but this insulation right here is not the answer around a well top. When it gets wet, it has no insulation value at all. And those plastic peanuts don't absorb moisture, so they kind of work. They'll float forever on water. Let me go ahead and backfill this thing and let you see what it all going to look like. Well, I think I'm going to have to apologize in advance for this video. We filled up the inside till it hit right here on this second ring in the drum. We'll put a bag or two, maybe of gravel in there. Put the lid on it. Let me show you what it looks like. Well, here's my question for all the boys that are into this stuff. We took this thing right here, insulated all the way around, put in an insulated lid on top of it out of foam or something like that. We then go ahead and put the lid on top of it, put this clamp ring around it. Now this thing right here transported sunflower seed oil in it, and it's waterproof and it's airtight with that clamp and ring up around it. Would that count as a Faraday cage? That's the $50 question. And I go to these meetings and I hear people say yes and I hear people say no, and they all got a whole bunch of letters before, after, and during their names, and none of them agree. So let's see if we can get some comments out of some people on whether or not this thing would then constitute as a Faraday cage around the top of a well. Well, there it is. As you can see, we got about 6 inches of dirt on this lower side. We're going to probably have the guys stack some rocks down here and build it up. We got a whole hill here to dig into. But this is the other part of the video where I put a solar powered well down a 6-inch well along with a grid powered well. But I wanted to clean this thing up, make it look right, get rid of all this insulation, put heat tape in it. If we can help you out and do anything with you, give you some information. All the information, of course, I don't charge for it. It's got to be worth what you pay for it. So if you get a chance, like it, share it, subscribe, tell your friends about it. See you next time. Thank you for watching.